should be ready to go.
All right. Well, hello. A couple minutes past 2 o'clock. This is the June 30th MACC board meeting. Our board meetings are the last Tuesday of every month. We are having a virtual live streamed Zoom meeting once again, since in-person meetings are not the best thing to do during a pandemic. So this is a COVID-19 measure that we've been taking for several months. We'll start the meeting by taking a roll call to see who's here. My name is Ryan Walker. I am the chair of the MACC board. So let me know if you are here. Angie Landrum.
Here.
Ellis Gardner. Ellis Gardner not in attendance. Rob Inman. Rob Inman doesn't seem to be here right now. Seth Graham.
Here.
Sally Halloran. All right, Sally's here. Also in attendance, our town manager, Boyd Veal, and our town council liaison, Susanna Murdoch.
Here.
Thank you.
Rob is here now.
Yes, sorry. I put you in the wrong folder.
All right, well, I'm glad we're in the right folder now. All right, so Rob Inman is now in attendance. Welcome. Just in time. First order of business, the crunchy stuff. Angie wrote up our minutes for the last meeting that was May 26th. We need to approve those. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Has everybody read the minutes from last meeting?
I don't remember seeing them.
I read the minutes from May 26th. They looked fine to me. I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve them.
I'll second.
Okay. Who was that?
Sally.
All right, so we have a second. Is there any discussion about the minutes? All right, I'll do a roll call. We're in favor of approving the minutes. I approve them. Angie Landrum.
Yes.
Rob Inman.
Aye.
Seth Graham.
Yes.
Sally Halloran.
Yes.
All right. The minutes are approved. Next order of business, which I should have mentioned when we called the roll, is we have a vacancy on the board. We received this month. This month we received a notice, an email from Becky Pope, who's been a standing member of the board, MACC board. Becky has so Becky is asked to be so we do have a vacancy that we'll need to fill. So be thinking about people who we can ask to apply to be on the board. Next meeting, we can see if we have any applications from which to choose to get that vacancy filled. It will not be a full term. It'll just be to fill the remainder of Becky's term. So if anybody has any names to recommend, I'll be happy to contact anybody.
Brian, I have a question.
Yes.
When are the current terms ending for different board members?
That is a list that I need to get actually from Becky, because I do not have that.
I can send it to you now. If you'll bear with me, I can look it up real quick.
Oh, that's really helpful. So yeah, that's right. It could just our terms end at the end of the year, so they are 3-year terms. So it could easily be as short as a half a year.
Becky's term through 2021.
Okay.
So whoever council appoints to that position will finish that term. Ryan, you're also 2021.
Okay.
Sally is December 31st of 2020. Rob is 2021. Seth is 2022. And Angie is 2022. And Ellis is 2020. So Sally and Ellis will term in this year. Becky's position, Ryan and Rob the following year.
Thank you very much. That was useful. So yes, it's the council. I will note that it is the council decision to appoint somebody, but they certainly need to have names to choose from. So there is an application that can be that can be filled out. The application can be picked up at the town hall. There's an easy application. Is that still correct?
Probably if you would have folks, the applications on the town website, or if they want to contact Sherry Morrison at sherry@signalmountaintn.gov and just request one, we can email one too. For the most part, town hall is still not open to
Okay.
general traffic, so be 2 ways of getting it, or they can just call and speak with someone. We can email it to them.
All right. Thank you, board. So it's important for us to have. I feel like it's really important for us to have full representation. So be thinking about folks who are willing to put in time to help keep our programming going. Once our programming comes back online, of course, there's tons of work to do on the building. There's an army at the MACC right now. Lots of work happening as we speak. Utilities being put in, air conditioning, I'm assuming. So there's lots of work being done, but a lot of that needs to be done by volunteers. So we need boots on the ground, people invested in the community. All right. So let's move on to, I'd like to move on to, since we're talking about work going on at the MACC, let's move on to an update from SMEPF. What can you tell us, Angie?
Well, today, I think they're still there. We have air conditioning units have been installed in room 3, the staff office, and the workroom, all 3 rooms at the same time. And I have pictures if I can show them to you. And also, room 3 is getting a new ceiling, sheetrock ceiling and lights, and that's it's all up, and he was mudding it when I stopped by today. Looking good. Let me find you a picture. Hang on. Let's see.
These are all rooms that are in the historic portion, the most historic portion of the building, the original schoolhouse. So being able to keep them temperature controlled and having original finishes restored is fantastic.
Okay, share screen. Hang on. I'm slow with this. You guys can talk among yourself.
There's one
I figured.
know how to write a document on a computer anymore. While you look that up, can you fill us in on the status of your agreement with the town?
It was approved. We had the planning commission voted to approve it, and then the town council voted to approve the MOA. So we start SMEPF officially manages programs starting July 1.
All right.
Right now we're still closed. So the thing that we are doing there that's kind of program related, I guess, is we're recording nightfall concerts. So that's a big deal. And those are great. I don't know if you guys have watched them. They're on YouTube and Facebook. We've done 5 so far, and they look amazing. I think they look better than all the other ones. So you got to watch them. That's really cool. Let's see what else is happening. And we're going to continue to do that through July. And so Carla is just playing it by ear. You know, by the end of July, we'll see how August looks, because they usually go into August as well. I can't remember when nightfall is. In August, I think. Also, there's an irrigation system in for the pollinator garden, and we're getting a new water meter. Town will be installing that so that it's landscaping water only, so there's no sewer charge on that, so that'll save money. And it's the Garden Club of Steel Mountain is doing the installation. They're going to bring in dirt and plants and mulch, hopefully in the next day or 2. So that's Dick Graham is working on a new website. We should have that up hopefully within a week or so. Other than that, we're just scraping and painting, and you guys are welcome to join us anytime.
Good. Did you find those pictures?
Yeah. Hang on. Let's see. I have the pictures open on my desktop, and I push the button that says share screen. And it gives me all these exclamation marks. So I don't know why.
Sounds like technical problems.
Technical difficulty. Nothing new. No. Don't know. Move on.
Okay.
I'll to you if I can figure it out.
Thank you for trying.
Yeah.
So we should once again thanks the Garden Club, having the and the town having the irrigation meter on site will just be helpful for years to come, and having the pollinator garden in will be definitely an attribute to an otherwise pretty blank section of the property right now. So we appreciate that. So I will mention, I had some feedback. I'm sure several people have gotten I've gotten phone calls over the past month. So people are concerned with the agreement that we have in place for the coming year. So I will mention that our operating agreement that you have, SMEPF, to operate at the MACC, it's a 1 year. It's just a 1 year term. So there's certainly some concern in the community, people who are concerned that it's a change and that it's being operated by the facility is being operated, I suppose, by a different entity. So I feel like it's our job as an ongoing board to just make sure that we stay well invested in MACC, make sure we help a lot. We need to make sure that we're available to help and that we're involved so that we can report back to the town and back to the citizens of the town and the MACC patrons, just so that everybody has confidence that we're doing things right. And I should note that's probably something that the SMAPF should be cognizant of, just making sure that the community feels involved so that there's no worry. The best way to have confidence in something is to participate. So I definitely encourage, as we move forward and figure out how to do things at MACC, as we find ways to open the building in any capacity, even if it's just for working on the building, participating and being involved is just the best way to know what's going on, and we'll do our best to help. Does anybody have any things that they would like us to focus on for the next year? Is there any discussion? Okay. Good. All right. I just wanted to note that there's just a little bit of confusion, and there's really just a little confusion about what's going forward. So we'll do our best to make sure we earn everybody's confidence, and we'll plan for the future, whatever that will be. We don't know. I have no other business. Is there any other business to discuss right now?
Well, before you move from that, I was yielding to any of the other members that wanted to speak first. But I just want to reiterate what you've said, in that the next, especially 8 or 9 months, because 3 months out, we need to pretty much be at a point of making a decision what the future looks like. So I think in that period of time, the MACC board's role in being as involved as possible, and I'm sure Angie will, given her connection to both entities, be very helpful in that, and you guys being just as informed as possible about how things are working, what's being done, because your input will be very valuable in that 8 or 9 month mark, and we need to look to the future. So again, just wanted to agree with what you said, Ryan, and from the town's perspective, really ask that be the case, that you guys be involved as possible. And when it comes time, we can all sit down with the common goal of figuring out what's best for the next leg of the journey for MACC.
I will loop back to an item that I kind of skipped over, is that in our last meeting we talked about potentially having a liaison, an individual who attends the board meetings for the SNEPF, as well as the board meetings for the MACC, and reports back to the town, just to have a perspective of, in person of what's going on both boards. And we had discussed that really can't be a standard MACC board member. We end up with multiple board members discussing business that can be voted on, and it gets challenging. So it really needs to be like a non-voting board member. I don't really think that it's, as far as I can tell, it's not a decision to be made by the MACC. But I would like to make sure that we perhaps the town appoints somebody to fulfill that role. I think you were agreeable to being that role, Suzanne. Is that correct? Are you still
Yeah,
here?
that's correct. Sorry, it took me a second. Yes, I'm willing and able to do that.
So, to me, it seems like you're a logical choice, since you are already our liaison with the town. You're a non-voting entity here. So seems to me like that would be a logical way to do that. If the town has another option, then they're welcome to do that. But I would like to make sure that we have that position filled. So I think that would be helpful. As far as staying informed, I might recommend that. Trying to think of a way. Is there a way that we could get updates regularly? Angie, do you think you could write up updates and send them to the board at least on a monthly basis? Did I say the right name?
You're on mute, Angie.
Are you okay?
Sorry.
Are we going to continue to meet monthly?
I thought that you go ahead.
Are we going to? Are we going to continue to meet monthly, or are you wanting monthly updates?
Yeah. I don't know if you send out any written updates. I feel like that would be helpful, but obviously you attend our meetings and you can tell us what's going on. That's okay. I don't know if any other board members would like to formally request written updates, or if that's even an issue. Since you're on our board, that's helpful. Well, we'll table that for a discussion for another day. I think we're all set.
Hey, Ryan, I got one question really quick. And this is for Angie and Boyd. In terms of like, so our board is, just, provide input, but what would help you, Angie, in terms of going forward over the next year? What individual members can do besides scraping paint that would help in terms of programming or anything like that? Because I assume you guys will be working with Boyd in close connection, and but what can you see like over the next 2 months that would help you as an organization move forward with the agreement and helping the individuals in the town?
Well, if we get to actually be open for any kind of regular business hours, or any, even if it's half days or whatever, if we have a gradual opening where there's something happening on a regular basis, like some of the teachers come back or whatever, then maybe we would need help with staffing. Somebody to be there to make sure everything is locked up and windows closed and all that, just like the staff did before. So being willing to volunteer, to be there on Tuesday afternoon for a couple hours or whatever the schedule is, just to help fill in, to be a staff person. Because it's just going to be all volunteers for the next year if we get to do any of that again. So that's all I can think of now, because right now we're not doing programs, other than the recording, and that's basically the technical guys that helps with that. And I don't do anything with it. Hang out, there's water on the table. So basically right now we are just doing, we're doing building maintenance and so we continue with that. If you guys want to help with that, you can always just, we don't have a regular schedule. We go when we can, and we go around other contractors' schedules. So if someone's there for sheetrocking or air conditioning or whatever, we work around that. So if you're willing to help, just email or call me anytime and say, I have on Tuesday if you have to, because we're there most days for several hours.
I would ask that if there are times when you expressly need help, or if you want to just have a few extra boots on the ground for doing any projects, do send us emails.
Okay.
I think it just kind of helps the communication be a two-way street. It's great that you're there all the time. That's you guys do a lot of free work. But it's really easy to ignore or forget that you guys are. Feel free to keep us abreast of what's going on.
All right.
Hey, this is Ellis. I just got a quick question.
Hey, Ellis.
Assume you can hear me. You cannot see me, I know, because I'm not in a place where you can, where what's behind me is not very good. This is really a question for Boyd. First of all, I wanted to say I thank Angie and her group for everything that she's done and doing. And as I understand it, this is sort of a open-ended temporary arrangement. The real question is, what would trigger us going back to normal and having an advisory board and staff? Are we talking about vaccinations for everyone in town? Or is that, a decree by the governor?
Well, at this point, with the agreement that's in place, SMEPF will be operating MACC for a period of 1 year, starting tomorrow. But 90 days out from that point, we and SMEPF have to really make a determination as to whether we want to continue that arrangement or if it will revert back to a town function, and we would staff and operate as we did in the past. So right now it's a pretty set schedule that we have about 8 or 9 months that SMEPF will be operating, and then we will need, with y'all's input, council and SMEPF will need to come to terms on what happens next. There's absolutely no determination made at this point as to what that will be. So this is purely an unfortunate, but at the same time, good opportunity for this scenario to play out. And nobody planned the pandemic or anything, but it really set the stage for several months of operation by SMEPF and working through getting operations back towards normal. And then we'll decide what normal actually is after that.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
I'm going to email you guys these pictures.
you. Go ahead.
I know how to do that.
Okay, those pictures, that'd be great. I wish I knew how to involve more community and so that we kind of know what moving forward will be like. Of course, getting another person on the board will be helpful. So be thinking about who would be willing to serve for us. Talk to folks, see what they want at the MACC, and by all means, make sure, let's keep, I guess the new website will be good. I'm glad that Dick is working on a new website because that will make the MACC accessible, especially while the building is closed. So, so we want people to be able to contact the MACC, so that when there's an opportunity to come and get involved, learn more, they can do that and feel connected. I think that's important. So, all right.
And Ryan, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the executive order that was that allows us to have these meetings was set to expire today.
Right.
And the governor said he was going to let it expire, but I think with some considerable pressure from municipalities, he's changed that. So we can have these meetings through August at present. So if that makes things easier to continue to meet, at least monthly, to get updates and see how things are going, we can do that for at least another couple of months.
And that is good for if we have any members watching, it's good for them to know what the road ahead looks like for the public meetings. Is there any sort of I mean, is this probably works best for everybody? It's the safest option. If there was a desire to have a distanced in-person meeting, is that something that's even allowed in this period of time? I don't really see a reason why we would.
I think it's possible. We would just have to look at how that looked.
All right. I don't see a reason to do that right now, but so our next meeting will be, I never have this date, the last Tuesday of July will be our next meeting. Since there'll be a virtual meeting, it'll probably be a similar mid-afternoon or early afternoon time slot.
28th.
Thank you, Angie. 28th of July will be the next virtual Zoom live streamed meeting. Are there other questions before we? All right. Well, sorry I was monotone today. It made for a very boring meeting. I'm tired. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. And definitely make a point to go in and take a look around MACC and see what you can do to help out as the SMEPF and all of their work. All right.
Ryan, did we set a time for the 28th?
I didn't set a time.
Okay. We'll just decide when we get closer.
Want to time we can do that and then see how it goes if we need to change it.
Okay.
We can go ahead and do that. Do you want to make it 2 o'clock?
I just thought I missed it.
Okay, sure. I'm not opposed to it for a regular time.
It would be nice if the weather cooperates and everyone is willing. Maybe next time we could meet at the MACC and do a walkthrough, and we could social distance outside, talk if we need to. But That way
I
everybody,
won't be able to do that. I need to stay isolated. So if you have a Zoom option, I'll do that.
okay.
Ellis, what's going on with you?
My wife has mono and I can't afford to bring coronavirus home.
Oh my
I'd
God.
love to hug you, Rob, but we just
Yeah,
have
me
to wait.
too. Me too.
Hugs.
All right.
Well, that's the safest thing. We all have, we all need to be safe and we all need to keep our family safe. So, and we're not out of the woods, and we're not going to be out of the woods anytime soon. So that is fair. Maybe we can do a virtual walkthrough somehow on
Y'all
Zoom.
can do it without me. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll get Rob to hold the phone up for me.
I'll be glad to.
But we'll still meet on Zoom regardless. I think that's important. Next month, most likely 2:00 unless that changes. So, okay. Thank you all for your time.
Everybody stay well.
You, take care.
Thank you.
2:38 adjourned.